What's on your mind? Let's talk about us at 13. One person, box office myth, business, and in fact, after the great success of Avatar, 20 days before the end of the year, 10 beautiful landscapes, open the door, this huge sum of money. It can be said that the film industry is different, but recently during the premiere of Avatar 2, Cameron only responded to the reason why the episodes were continued 13 years apart. It means $4. Spend years. After Avatar, he himself had a good time. Deep sea exploration in various regions of the world. Next page. Headquarters constellation main technology. What is the meaning of the song? Full program underwater real shooting. The look and feel is the same as what you saw in Aquaman before. The effect presented on land through green screen plus subtly. Totally different. Cameron says he is fully prepared. Avatar. The gold-lettered signboard of the film industry benchmark. It won't be outdated even after a few years. Many people hate Avatar with only special effects and no plot. But Brother Sion doesn't think so. A film can bring environmentalism, identity, colonial reflections come together fluidly, and tell a great story. Even after 13 years, it can still bring shock. If you plan to watch Avatar 2 soon, might as well review it first. This super blockbuster that once set off the film industry revolution. The story happened in 2154. World population swells to 20 billion. Resources are starting to run out. The Earth is gradually dying. The protagonist, Jack Sully, is an ex-soldier, paralyzed in combat, became half a cripple. Desperate life ushered in a turning point today. News from the Transplanetary Enterprise RDA. His twin brother died unexpectedly, so the company invited Jack to replace his brother, to Pandora, participate in the Avatar project. The so-called Avatar. It is an in vitro embryo that combines human and Gnostics genes, bringing human consciousness into it through spiritual contact, to become a fake Gnostics. Move freely on Pandora. Deduce the atmosphere here is toxic to humans. Jack's brother Ben was a scientist on the project. In order not to waste his expensive Avatar body, the company had no choice but to let Jack, who was genetically similar, be on top. And Jack's task is to become the queen of the Gnostics, integrate into the local tribal culture, persuade them to move from their homes, make room, so that the company can mine their rare and precious superconducting ore. After passing the link, Jack really managed to control the phrase Avatar. He immediately rushed out of the laboratory desperately and ran as fast as he could. Yes, that's right. Jack doesn't care about the mission at all. He took the job, just to enjoy the feeling that the feet can stand up again. Actually before that, it's not that humans haven't tried to communicate with the local area. Back then they opened a school here. Head of the Avatar project, led by Dr. Grace, similar to preaching, delivering Earth's language and culture to the Gnostics. The result is still because of the ecological damage caused by mining. The company's mercenaries clashed with the Gnostics. There was a murder. The two parties have since disconnected. No settlement so far. During a field trip with a team, Jack got lost accidentally, when attacked by wild animals. Saved by Nittli, a Gnostics from the Omesha tribe. The other party is the daughter of the local chief. Also once, School of Humanities students gain proficiency in English skills. But for a fake Gnostics like Jack, he doesn't have a good face.
Don't thank. You don't thank for this. This is sad. Very sad only.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Pandora at night is in danger. Jack finally hugged his thigh, in the process of accompanying a bunch of jellyfish-like things docked around Jack. Nittli seemed to have seen a miracle, because this is the tree of souls believed by the local people. Ava seed, now suddenly appear, explain that Jack is extraordinary, but the large number of Gnostics who came later, or arrest Jack, escorted back to the tribe, was going to be executed on the spot. Dan Nittli's mother can read Ava's dominion. In addition, he is very interested in Jack, who is also a fighter, so it was decided to put Nittli in charge of teaching each other, trying to see if humanity can be saved. So Jack just hit and miss, became a bridge to communicate with the Gnostics people. The company leaders are also quite satisfied with this. If the Gnostics can be driven out without force, can reduce a lot of cost. The next day Jack also officially started studying how to become a real Gnostics. Nerve fibers in hair, once connected to this neural interface. Humans and animals can communicate with each other. This is on the planet Pandora, a neural interface common to almost all vertebrates. Remember when Jack was caught yesterday? When the man is backlogging him, the first thing to grab is his braid, and ready to cut. This is the penal code of the local tribe for felons. Just cut this neural interface. Can forever cut off the prisoner's connection with Pandora's many creatures. Greatest reduction in hunting and combat abilities. And now Jack's first lesson to learn is how to use this braid. In order to fully cooperate with his mission, company transports outpost to Hallelujah Mountain. This is one of the iconic mountains of Pandora. Because of the special magnetic field effect of superconducting ore, huge rock suspended in the sky formed such a magnificent spectacle. From then on, Jack began a long study, understanding the ecological landforms of Pandora, master the hunting skills of the Gnostics, learn their language and script, slowly build trust. He also succeeded in convincing the Gnostics, bring Dr. Grace back to the Horde. Relationship between humans and the Gnostics seems to be gradually easing. After a while, Jack finally learned to ride a hexagonal horse. Next comes a new test. Control the big bird Eklund like a pterosaur, different from other animals. Once Ikran establishes a connection with a human, They only recognize one master for life. First, Jack followed the army through the steep cliffs. Come to the habitat of Icaron. He looked around. After making eye contact with a blue bird, immediately ride on someone's neck and tie big mouth. Almost fell off a cliff. In the end Jack tried his best. Big bird tamed by neural link just in time. It's not too late to build a good relationship with each other. Take off now.
Think, fly!
Fly?
Nitley saw Jack succeed. Immediately ride the big bird and follow. They fly together in the sky. Two stars have never been so close. But soon Jack found out. Icaron is not the overlord of the sky. An even larger bird swoops rapidly from high above. His whole body is full of colors. Almost caught the two of them on the spot. Nitley Cop said this is Toruk. The Gnostics are in awe of him. Final Phantom. Local history. There have only been 5 heroes who can control Toruk. They are called Phantom Knights. And Nitley's great-great-grandfather was one of them. He held the tribes together in troubled times. It is a legend that every Gnostics has heard. 3 months pass quickly, as Jack becomes a real Gnostics. After getting the approval of the whole tribe, he finally got a chance to follow Nitley. Came to Linshu Ava. This is where the people pray. Everyone can pass Ava and Pandora. All biological networks generate exchange of ideas. Just like an external router. It is also in this place. Jack and Nitley are in a relationship.
I'm with you now, Jake. We are mated for life.
Jack has been thoroughly planned. When waking up from the human body, I feel more and more that reality on this side is like a dream. Early the next morning, army bulldozers suddenly drive into the forest. It turned out that the humans felt that Jack's progress was too slow. They can't wait to use force, forcing the Gnostics to leave. This move angered them again. Jack had no choice but to tell the truth. Advise everyone not to act rashly. No matter how he explains, the Gnostics will only treat him as a traitor. Nitley can't trust him either. The colonel of the war faction sees that the negotiations have broken down. Turn around and order to fire immediately. The battle between the two sides broke out in an instant. Canonized primitive bow. Aircraft cannons against humans. Pingfu Honshu. Missiles aimed at the home tree and repeatedly bombed. The smoke and heat wave at the scene turned into a sea of flames. Numerous Gnostics casualties. And that giant home tree finally couldn't resist the artillery attack. Start to crumble. After the bombardment, giant tree roots start to break. Home tree of the Omatia tribe just crashed. See such a scene. All the Gnostics wailed in despair. For Linshu Ava, Pandora's forest is his brain. Every tree is a neuron, connected by tree roots. Everything that lives in this place is a part of it. So there will be no war for the Gnostics. No ownership. No territory. But now the home tree is down. It is equivalent to the loss of one of the largest network incentives. Jean also truly realized the horror of human beings. It's just a warning from the human army to the Gnostics. Tribal chief, Nitley's father, tragically died in the chaos. The Gnostics of the Omatia tribe also began to shed, displaced for disobeying orders. Jack and Grace they was also locked up in a cell by the company. But, fortunately, there are still people in the military who share Jack's ideas, risked their lives to save them. Seeing this, the colonel ignored the poisonous atmosphere outside. Hold your breath, come out, draw your gun and shoot. Although the beauty finally managed to escape, but Dr. Grace was shot and killed. Helicopter transports lab from base. Jack was able to wake up from his avatar body again. He wants to come back and save the Gnostics. But because he's currently considered a traitor Rory, no one trusts him at all. Jack has to appear as another. He flew high in the sky on an Icaron. Stop behind Toruk. Yes, he's going to be the legendary Phantom Knight.
此时的纳美人正在灵树艾娃之下聚集。
The tribe revived. Follow in Jack's footsteps. Every corner of Pandora, Phantom is everywhere. All the Gnostics were dismissed after listening. Rebel forces quickly went from a few hundred, gathered 2,000 people. And the colonel is also ready to gather all the staff. Ready to raise this place to the ground with a huge amount of dynamite. The eve of the decisive battle, Jack came to Ava to pray. Although I don't know if it's useful, but he begged for help. Save Pandora. Early the next morning, a large number of fighter jets marched towards Hallelujah Mountain. The powerful mecha troops also began to land in the forest. Humans are well equipped, but the magnetic field here will completely disable the navigation system. The Gnostics who know the terrain still occupy the geographical advantage. The moment the explosives are about to drop, the battle on land and air started at the same time. Icaron troops are extremely mobile, relying on high-altitude raids destroyed many fighter jets. The Hexagon troops on the ground in flesh and blood, while resisting the frenzied strafing, fight back, can face the suppression of absolute firepower superiority. Primitive tribal offensive methods are still not enough. Fighters rushed to support. The Gnostics began to retreat, to prevent the release of explosives. The Gnostics in the air can only jump into the battleship. Soldier holding a gun, gain time with your own sacrifice. The forest is on fire. The human army continues to advance. Obstacles are basically cleared in the air. Explosives have been uninsured. At the most critical moment, there seems to be movement ahead. A large number of hammerhead ultralisks suddenly appeared. Head straight forward. Easily overturn the mecha team. Pandora's fantastic beasts. At this moment, it seems that everyone is out. United against the enemy. Ava really came alive.
Jake, it has hurt you.
Countless Icaran Qing dynasty attack. Fighter jets together in the sky. Knock them down to land. Top Predator Reaper. Also miraculously obeyed Nitlay. Jack jumped off the battleship from Toruk. Sees the timing while sweeping the enemy. 1 second before the explosives are released. Throw a grenade on the engine. After a bang. Battleship instant. Dynamite roll back to the cabin. Blow up in place in the air. In the chaos, the colonel jumped onto the mech decisively. Vertical drop from the sky. Avatar lab just happened to be found nearby. It also means Jack's human body is inside. On the nick of time. Nitlay pounced on the death beast. Crazy biting off the mech's weapon. Amazing veteran colonel. Finally pulled out the giant dagger. Execute the death beast on the spot. Pinned down Nitlay at stake. And Jack finally arrived. At this time, the human army is gone. The situation has turned into a duel between Jack and the colonel. After the mech's glass is shattered, the colonel puts on the oxygen mask and continues to fight. He just plays when he can't beat. Dizzy and turned around to destroy the lab. The toxic atmosphere permeates the humans in the cabin. Jack breathless. Directly affected the body of the Avatar. History switches back and forth between the two bodies. The colonel grabs Jack and prepares to kill him. That's when Nitlay finally broke free. Got up and drew the bow and shot the colonel through the heart. Then another arrow to send him back to the west. When Jack inside wakes up and can't breathe the air here, he struggled to get up to get the mask, but fell at the last moment. While outside the laboratory, seeing that Jack in front of him is still, Nitlay also figured out the situation. Run to the lab and put the mask on him. A few seconds later, Jack is finally alive.
I see you.
I see you.
The end of the story. The Na-6 successfully drove humans back to Earth. Only a few remained here. And tonight is Jack's rebirth day. With the help of Ava, his consciousness was completely transferred to the Avatar. At this moment he truly became a Na-6. This is the story of Avatar. Although the story structure seems a bit old-fashioned today, but the most precious thing about Avatar, yes, take us to see the original appearance of the film. That is Dreaming. 13 years. Sequel release. I believe everyone is ready. Return to Pandora. Back to that original dream. Well, today's story ends here. I am Salted Fish. If you have a story you want to hear, tell me the movie you want to watch. I will tell you. See you next time, bye.